All right, everybody, we are back here. Day 3 of workouts. We moved to the offense today. We're still at the Combine. It's Friday. Got to look today at, as you like to call them, Evans, the playmakers. We're going to call them the playmakers. Yes. This is what the Patriots need. Now, of course, the quarterbacks did speak as well. We did a big deep dive with SB Nation's Mark Schofield on the quarterbacks for our long-form podcast.
Even 2024 quarterbacks.
It was crazy. So if you want to hear more about the quarterbacks, go over to that podcast. That'll be up this afternoon as well. But for this portion, we're going to focus on those playmakers, Evan. We feel like those are the guys that the Patriots need. Tight ends, wide receivers, there's a lot of them this year. It seems like there's a lot of guys that fit what they need.
Let's face it, no offense to any of the defensive players who are all great to talk to, and the workouts last night for the linebackers and the defensive linemen, really impressive. This is why we're here. We're here to watch the receivers, right? We're here to watch the pass catchers. The Patriots need to upgrade that position. We all know that. I think they know that. And they're doing their homework on this class. They are. I think they're poking around at all of these different guys. We have heard reports that Troy Brown is here, which would make sense to have him in the room talking to these receivers and getting to know these guys a little bit. I think one guy that really stood out here today from the wide receiver position and one from the tight end position, Quinten Johnston from TCU. I haven't been super high on this player because of his linear athletic ability. He's not somebody that changes directions very well necessarily, but he is a big-time vertical threat. You go look at that semifinal game against Michigan where he has 6 catches for 160 yards and a 65-yard touchdown, right? Like those types of numbers, it almost feels Randy Moss-esque, like 3 for 180 and 3 touchdowns is like the type of stat lines that he puts up. So not exactly the underneath quick. I know you want that quickness, Mike. That's not necessarily what he is. Yeah. But he is a big-time difference maker on the outside and somebody that if you do draft him in the first round, defensive coordinators, they're going to have to devise some things for him.
Yeah, well, clearly he stands alone. I mean, I drew the comp, and not necessarily as a player, but Cordell Patterson, just in terms of the size, the build. But the other top receivers are a little bit more in my kind of mold. And we got Jordan Addison. We heard from him, who met with the Patriots. I think you asked him, Evan, what did he say exactly about his meeting with the Patriots?
It was it
detailed?
Detailed, yes.
Detailed, which not a surprise.
I was going to say it wrong, so yeah.
Didn't want to put
detailed.
You on the spot, but not surprising. I mean, that's pretty much what you get from all these guys. Zay Flowers, of course, is a guy that was at the Shrine Bowl for a day, lit it up, and then shut it down. But he was also drew a large crowd today. And one more guy who might be a little bit lower down, but I think we both really think fit, Jaden Reed, who was great at the Senior Bowl. Just a few guys in this first, couple of days that really, I think, you said quickness. That's what I want for this offense. Those guys seem like they really could bring that in spades.
Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, too, is another guy I think they're poking around on. He's not going to run the 40 until his pro day, but he did say he was going to do the on-field drill, so you see him go through the gauntlet drill and all that type of stuff as well. So you'll see a little bit of JSN tomorrow in workouts, but the two guys that you mentioned that I think really stood out at the podium, just the way that they were speaking, are really – one that actually you didn't mention, Josh Downs, who I thought was really impressive. I loved what he said when he said, you need a play, come to Josh Downs. Like that, I think, is an awesome line. And Zay Flowers is someone that I continue to find myself just gravitating towards for the Patriots. And he's going to weigh in, he said, at 183. So he's gained about 13 pounds since the East-West Shrine. And now he's really, from a size comparison, I think people are so concerned about his size. He's going to be basically the same size as Jalen Waddle. He's going to be 5'9", 180, 185. It's exactly what Jalen Waddle weighed in out of Alabama a couple of years ago, and I think that he's got that kind of speed to his game as well. So you start to be less concerned, I would say, about his size and about his frame because he has that big-time explosiveness.
Well, of course, the big thing is, we talked to these guys today, but the big thing is tonight. It's going to be the testing. Evan, of course, we'll have a full breakdown of that. How fast do these guys run? It's going to be amazing. We heard from all these guys. There's a little bit of buzz about, who spoke well, but I think really tonight, tomorrow is when we're going to get the guys that break 4 threes and, the guys that run unexpectedly fast, even unexpectedly slow. Yeah. Feels like we're going to wake up tomorrow morning and all of a sudden the wide receiver draft board might look a little different.
I hate it because I think it's not the way that teams necessarily look at it, but I'll be honest with you, I have thresholds in mind for all of these guys. If Zay Flowers doesn't break 4.35, then now we're starting to question, he's fast, but is he really that fast that at 5'9", 180, he's going to be a big-time playmaker with the 4.4? Jordan Addison, I think I really would like to see him run in the low 4.4s. I think he's got to put up a pretty good number to see if that speed translates. Before we sign off, I know we're running out of time a little bit here. We do have to talk a little bit about tight ends, I feel like. Yeah. Michael Mayer was extremely impressive at
Evan
that
was
podium.
taken with Michael Mayer. I can confirm.
Michael Mayer was the type of guy that looks like a CEO of your football team. Like, he's someone's going to be a team captain, really intense, competitive guy. We know what he can do on the football field. That's a first-round prospect, right?
Yeah.
Just a well-polished, really smart, intelligent kid.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, those guys, again, guys that can run, and their tight ends count as weapons too. We saw Rob Gronkowski was, a generational weapon that made a huge difference. Just real quick, what do you think you're going to look for tonight with the tight ends in the testing?
Cornerbacks tonight. You got wide
sorry.
receivers, tight ends tomorrow. I think the biggest thing with Mayer is specifically is that he doesn't, we've talked about this, he doesn't look like he has great straight line explosiveness. Like, he's somebody that's really going to be able to stretch defenses vertically, which I think you have to be able to do. Gronk up the seam is just automatic, right, for so many years. And yeah, he had some other great things about his game too, but that was like his hallmark when in his prime, was running the seam. So I think for a guy like Mayer, I got to see him be in at least the 4.7 to maybe 4.65 range to feel really good about him at 14.
Yeah, and you wonder if maybe like a Dalton Kincaid, Luke Musgrave, guys that are really athletic, hey, we don't need to worry about blocking, all right? I don't care about blocking. We need guys who can make plays. So that's going to do it for us today, Friday. We got one more day to go, the offensive lineman, another big need. So there's no slowing down for us here in Indy. We're still going. Some people are clearing out, not us. We're here for you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, all weekend, more written content into next week, breaking down everything for you guys as far as the Patriots are concerned here at the Combine.